seeing whatever I'm broadcasting. Hello, Markee Dragon, also known as Marcus Eikenberry in real life, and today we've got a live show. I am, for the first time, trying to actually do a regular call-in show where you can call in and we'll talk about video games and other things related. And so I just wanted to start off with saying, first off, is that my Skype is Markee Dragon. And so if you would like to be on the show, please give me a call on there, preferably with video. Video calls will be given preference over audio calls. And, hopefully the show will be exciting. If we have some good content that comes out of it, those particular callers may end up with episodes of their own on the Markee Dragon Show. So, now, I also need to say that this is a very, very complex setup, what I've got here to do all of this, and it's not 100% stable, and that's been an issue. I have a lot more computer parts on the way. You can see back here, whoops, if I go this other way, you can see back here, I've got the makings for a new system. I haven't got all the parts yet, but they'll be here on Tuesday, and I will be filming, actually putting that all together and walking through all of that. So, anyway, that should be fun. Okay, so I want to grab something off the wall back here and talk about it for just a little bit. So, hold on just a second here. I've got something that I want to place all of the blame on for everything that's led up to right now. This right here. The Ultima Online Public Beta Test CD. That is the reason for, it's how I ended up here. And this was back in 1997, that a friend of mine who was managing my computer store, he signed up for this. I wasn't willing to pay the $7 shipping and handling. And I just said, well, I'll just wait for it to come out. Well, you know what? He got this thing, and he loaded it up in his computer, and he got PK'd the first time he went out. Somebody killed him. And he said, I ain't ever playing this damn thing again, and handed me the CD and his beta account. So, that is how I ended up in, the business that I am today. So, anyway, I just am so fond of this, and I'm so glad that he gave me this. Dennis, thank you for having given me this CD, because look at what the hell it's done. So, okay, now you can add me. Skype is Markee Dragon, and this show is going to last for, well, given hopefully we don't have any technical difficulties. But if we do, then the show may be over. But as we are right now, it's all seems to be working okay, and we're going to run with it. So do give me a call. Especially wait for times when you see that I'm not talking to somebody, or if I'm just wrapping up. That would be a good time to call. And like I said, I'll be giving preference to people who are calling with video over audio. We'll take both, but preference is going to be given definitely to people with video. So, okay, without further ado, I've got somebody on the line already. I've got Dave on the line. And Dave, say hello to everybody.
Hello.
So, Dave, now you've got a question for me. and hit me with it.
It's about War Z.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was in the live stream last night, and loads of people were talking about War Z didn't copy anyone, Daisy didn't copy anyone.
Mm-hmm.
But from my perspective, Daisy copied War Z. That's
Now you're saying it's the other way around than what most people are claiming. Most people are claiming that
yeah,
Warzy copied Daisy, but you're saying Daisy copied Warzy.
yeah.
Okay, and why is that? Why do you have this different stance on that?
Well, I think because War Z was in development before Daisy,
Mm-hmm.
and that Daisy was trying to get ahead of them, but they couldn't. So they put an add-on onto Armor 2 and used that as their base for the game until they make it into a standalone.
Mm-hmm. I just wonder though if in actuality though. I mean, when video game companies are developing something, they don't typically talk about it until a certain point. And so I'm not sure, when did DayZ come out as an add-on? Um,
Ooh,
was that like 8
I'm not
months ago? Something like that?
I'm not sure about that, but I think it's around 8 months ago. Yeah.
And so, now Warzy is from, what is that? It's using the War Inc. engine, I believe, which,
Yeah.
they are using an engine that they already created and were using. And so that is, maybe that has been in development longer. But so given that, what kind of impact do you think that has, though, on everything? I mean, does it really make a difference?
Not really, but on the different view of Warzy, I think Warzy's like a downside for people who can't play Daisy, because Warzy's a bit lower end for graphics perspective.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And now it's still in alpha, and one of the things about games that are in alpha is typically the graphics don't really come in until beta,
Yeah.
and the graphics are pretty high end. They they I'm not running all the way at the highest end on mine. I've got a pretty beefy video card. But I don't know. I guess we'll have to see. So I guess the true comparison, like Daisy is out now and it's a public thing, and they're not in beta anymore. I don't believe. So I think that maybe we should wait until we've got to do a comparison until Warzy is out of beta as well, and can probably do that. So
Yeah.
okay. Well, Dave, thank you for the call. And till next time, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, everybody. So if you would like to be on the show, go ahead and give me a call right now. So with there's all this controversy going on about about them stealing from each other, and it's because they're such similar products. And so, it's, I don't know, but they both have their own strengths. And I am looking forward to, to DayZ coming out with their MMO. I think that could be pretty spectacular. So I am looking forward to that, and I will try it, and I'll play it whenever whenever it does come out. So anyway, okay, well, feel free to give me a call right now. So here's a view of outside right now. I've got my window open if you hear any wind noise, and so out here I've got all the birds have gone away. There's a few out there, but for the most part they are they seem to have taken off. I was watching them catch fish on the shoreline a little while ago, and so I enjoy that. Okay, so let's take a look at the comments here in that are coming in, and World of Planes. Isn't it World of Warplanes? So the next one coming out from Wargaming is the Planes version of World of Tanks, and I am definitely looking forward to that. It is. Oh, look at this. Who have we got? Got somebody calling. So, hello, Joey.
Yo!
Yo, Joey, do you have any video?
Unfortunately, I don't.
Okay, well, I guess we'll go without video then. How are you today?
I'm good.
Good. So,
How are you?
I'm doing well as well. As long as my computer is doing well, I'm feeling okay about myself today. So, Joey, what's on your mind?
Um,
Did I catch you speechless? Oh, well, Joey had a brain freeze there and dropped the call. So, okay, so that leaves room for somebody else now, doesn't it? Okay, so as I was saying about the World of Warplanes, I am looking forward to trying it. You know, this may sound crazy, but I applied for the beta and never got in. And I know that a lot of people are applying for the beta and they're getting in, and I would love to be in the beta and and you know, but just haven't made it. So now the one that I'm really looking forward to though is World of Battleships. And so the World of Battleships one is something that I am I'm very passionate about. Did any of you play Red Alert? So Red Alert was a Command and Conquer, part of the Command and Conquer series, and it was a little bit more in a vein of some hardcore combat and everything. So we'll come back to that. Got another call coming in. Let's try this out. Hello, this is Markee Dragon. You're on the air. Oh, and he dropped off as well. You know what? I have to say that if you're too timid to talk, don't call, because I'm going to answer your call. And so that, okay. Try another one here. Hello, Platinum. This is Markee Dragon. You're on the air.
Hey there, Marcus.
Hey.
Can you see my webcam right now?
No, I don't see. Oh, let's see. Keep video on.
There we
Okay,
go.
let's try that now. Let me switch my screen here. And now you look pretty epic there with your nice gaming headset. And look at that awesome mic you've got there.
Yep.
I think we should have some good audio quality from you, huh?
Yeah, it should be fine. So this is my first time being on a live show before. I never did this. So, thoughts on new games. Have you heard of the new game called, let me check one moment please, Citadel of Sorcery?
Citadel of Sorcery. No, I have not heard of that one. Is that, tell me a little bit about it.
So it's a new game made by, I think it's called MMO Magic Inc.
Mm-hmm.
And they are working on this game. They claim to have spent millions of dollars in this game.
Mm-hmm.
And it's planned to come out next year in about, I think, June 2013.
Okay.
And right now they got a Kickstarter project up, and they just need more money. Yeah.
Okay, so, well, let me see about bringing Kickstarter up here. Let's see here. Ooh, I just drug that across everybody's screen there. So, let me look here. I'm going to go to Kickstarter, and what did you say that it was again?
Citadel of Sorcery.
Citadel of Sorcery. Okay. Let's look here. Games. And let's see. games. Gosh, I hit games before and it took me back. I find this site to sometimes be confusing. It sometimes doesn't do what I want it to. And
Yeah.
okay, so Citadel of Sorcery. And I'm having trouble finding it on there.
Hold on, let me just send you the link.
Okay.
Sorry, my voice, by the way, I'm still a bit sick.
No problem. No problem. So, okay, well, let's see here. Look at that. How that messes everything up on the view there. Okay, I have to remember that. So, new kind of MMO, Citadel of Sorcery. Let me see if I can add this to our screen right here, and we can take a look at it. So, add a screen region, and then okay. So
So these guys have 11 days left right now, and they still have a lot of money to until they reach their goal.
right. Okay. So have you pledged anything on this? Are you pledged?
To be honest, not yet, but I plan to do so.
And what is it that excites you about this game?
The idea that there are no static quests, that's the main thing that really excites me about this game.
No static quests. Okay. So let's see here if we can look at this video, and I can. I have to turn the sound off though. Can't have any sound on this broadcast. That's music. Oh,
Yeah.
which means I can't hear him talking either. Oh my. So, okay. They have a very long way to go, and I hate to say this, because I do follow a lot of Kickstarter projects, and with them only being $33,000 of a $700,000 goal, I do not think that they're going to make it.
Yeah, I'm sure they won't make it.
So, but those of you who are watching, maybe if this is something that you're interested in, you can go check it out, the Citadel of Sorcery, and maybe it's something that you would like to participate in. So, okay, well, did you have any other questions about that I can answer for you on this?
That's a very good question. Not really. I've been following you since you've been on YouTube, basically, and I've been a customer of your store since the early days
Oh, okay.
of Shattered Crystal, Markee Dragon. And I just want to say that you're doing a good job and keep up the good work.
Okay, well, thank you very much. I appreciate it, and thanks for taking the time to give me a call, and give me
No
another
problem.
shout on another later show. Thank you.
All right. Have a good day.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay, so that's cool. That's cool. I appreciate his call, and it's that there's so many games out here that getting funding on these, the presentation of them is so important. It is just amazingly important. That you have a good presentation on there, because if you don't, it's a problem. So we're gonna try Joey again. Joey's called back again, and so Joey, you're back on the show again.
Yeah. My computer seemed to have crashed. Sorry about that.
Oh, okay. We just thought you got cold feet and you took off.
No.
So
I have one question
okay.
I'd like to ask you. Have you played DayZ, right?
I have not played DayZ.
All right.
I've seen plenty of gameplay video of it, but I actually never played it.
All right. Well, do you know if? Well, I haven't got a very good computer. You see, my computer's it's very low specs. It does manage to play DayZ, but it's quite bad. Well, it lags a lot anyway. It still manages. I still manage to play it, but I've been playing it for a long time. I just wanted to ask, do you know if Wars E's like, is it a higher? Does it require higher requirements
Well,
requirements to play it?
yeah, let me ask you, what kind of video card do you have? Do you know?
Well, it's a computer. It's quite old. It's like four years old. It's an Advent computer. I think it's integrated graphics or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's really bad. But yeah, I just wanted to know if it'd run better than DayZ, if you happen to know that.
Well, I don't know that for sure. And I can say that that I have played it on the lowest graphics possible before I did try it out that way, and it seemed to me to be pretty light in its requirements. But here's my suggestion to you, and that is that even if you have like a stock computer, like a Dell computer or something like that, with integrated graphics. For less than $100, you can buy a good video card to put in that machine and replace that with your the integrated graphics. You know, run the new video card instead, and it will be a huge improvement on all of your gaming.
Do you think?
Yes, because your the video cards have you know like there's the CPU, the main chip in your machine that does most of the functions. Well, the video cards have a GPU, a graphics processing unit.
Yeah.
And so what it'll do is it will take and do some of the stuff that right now your CPU is doing. And so it'll give you a little bit more horsepower in your machine, and it has its own to help you with the graphics. So I think that would be money very well spent. And instead of buying like War Z or whatnot, you know, spend that money on a bit better graphics card. And there's a good site called Tom's Hardware.
Yeah.
That you can probably find. You have to find out what kind of slots you have in your machine. But once you know what kind of expansion slots you have in your machine, you can then figure out what your options are for video card, and you may be able to get something even as cheap as like $50 that'll do you really good. So
yeah, well, my brother's more like the person that he's more into gaming computing. He's been doing it for ages. He's got like a really good high spec computer. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. Yeah, he's the one that's got me into it. I mean, the computer that I'm using now is like mainly for my family. I have been computer gaming for at least a year and a bit, and I've just been really saving up for a new computer. I've got an Alienware laptop, but it's not as good. Well, it is good. It was good when I had it, and then it just started, and it just died out on me. Well, it's not died. It still works. It just the FPS that I get is really bad at the moment, so I might try and get that fixed. What graphics card do you have?
Well, I have a GTX 570.
Oh yeah.
And it is it was about I think that was around $300 for the card. Now the card that I had in here that I just replaced, which I had until just a couple of months ago, was an NVIDIA 250, I think, and I noticed that those sell for $60 now, and I was able to play games quite well on that one. So it doesn't have to be, you know, really expensive. And so, you know, yeah.
Well, I'm gonna have to go. Sorry,
Okay.
I'm gonna have to go anyway.
Thank you for the call.
Thanks for the time.
Okay.
Cheers.
Okay, so, you know what? Without screening calls, you don't know what you're going to get. And now I'm going to answer a call from Nonsensical. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, like I said, you don't know what you're going to get with that. And so Mr. Nonsensical has just been blocked. It sounded like he was having a very good time there, though. Huh? Yeah. Okay. So, and I saw someone else was calling. They can try again. And so, as long as we don't have video like that, because then I'd have to kill somebody. Yeah. So, but the good thing is that I can see the video before I turn it on for the rest of you. So I'll get a sneak peek. All of you will just have to hear me go, "Oh my God." So, okay. Now we were talking about Red Alert. And Red Alert being a warfare game, a real-time strategy game that had a lot of ship battles in it. It had a lot of land stuff, but it was really it was kind of maybe even a tower defense game. And so that was, for me, one of the best, one of the best games that I ever played. And it really got my interest up in naval warfare, and so naval warfare games. And the naval warfare games have really been something that I've really enjoyed, and that's what I hope for in World of Battleships, something like that. Okay, so. Hello, Sanjeev. You're on the air.
Hello.
Hello. Do you happen to have video, or are you just audio only?
I am audio only.
Okay. So, what's on your mind?
A few things, actually.
Okay.
A few things. Well, the first I say, it is I have problem with my computer. It will not run any game at the moment. I ask you this. What problem you think it have?
What? Well, I'm not. There's not enough information there to answer that, and as far as tech support, that's not really what I'm very much into. So, let's see here. I hear an accent in your voice. Where are you from? Where are you calling from?
At the moment, I'm in the U.S., but I come originally from India.
Oh, okay. And and how old is your computer?
Oh, it is some years now. Maybe 5, 6.
5 or 6 years old, and
maybe 7 at a stretch.
And it won't run.
Well,
any
when I
games?
run a game, the screen is black.
Well, I don't know how to help you there on that, so just not sure exactly what to say. There's nothing that just leaps out at me right off the top of my head. But I do. I think that your best bet is going to be to buy a new computer. So, okay, so. That was a really exciting call, Sanjeev. Thank you for the call, but yeah, we can't do any computer repair for you. So, okay. So, now for how you can call me if you'd like to be on the show, it's Skype, Markee Dragon, and Markee Dragon, it's the same way spelled here. It's just no spaces, and you can look me up on there, So, okay, so World of Battleships, I'm very much looking forward to that game, and I'm hoping that that it will be really, really good. And so, let's see here. Got a call from Steve. Hello, Steve.
Hello.
You're on the air.
Oh, hello.
Hi. Do you happen to have video, or are you audio only?
No, I haven't got a webcam actually. No.
Okay. And where are you calling from?
England.
England. All right.
Yes.
So, what's on your mind, Steve?
Well, I haven't really got much time, but I just wanted to ask one thing. How'd you get your beard like that?
How do I get my what like that?
Your beard.
Oh, my beard.
Yeah, your beard.
I get comments all the time about my beard, and I typically ignore them. So I was not expecting that question here on the live show, but since we're here and I've got it, I think that. How old are you, Steve?
I am 14.
14. So I think you still have a few years left before you really be able to have a chance at growing a good beard. I was probably about 16 when I started to be able to grow a beard, and 17 or 18 before it was really filled in. Now, I just, I don't do anything to it special. I mean, I just keep it trimmed up, and its coloring is that way all on its own. So, but some people are blessed with, good beards, and some people aren't. And if you grow yours out and it looks all splotchy, well, try again later. So, yep.
Okay.
Anyway, Steve, I hope that answers your question.
Okay, yeah. Thank you very much.
Okay, take care.
Okay.
Okay, so, this is, did any of you ever watch or listen to the show that was Coast to Coast AM? He always took unscreened calls, and it made for some really exciting stuff sometimes. So, okay, here we got Frank. Hello, Frank. How you doing?
Hey, Marcus. I'm good, and you?
Hey, I'm pretty good. Do you have video, or are you just audio only?
No, I'm afraid I'm only audio.
Okay.
Yeah.
And where are you from, Frank?
I'm from South Africa.
South Africa. Wow, isn't it amazing the technology? Your voice sounds crystal clear.
It's just a good microphone, probably.
Yeah. So, what's on your mind, Frank?
I'm just wondering, what do you think about like all these new games that are being released? Like a couple years ago, you wouldn't see as many games being released to the public with betas and closed betas and open betas, and you wouldn't be able to participate as much in the development cycle as it is. And then nowadays there are a hell of a lot of games being released, but they aren't really as good as the ones that were just released in a less amount. I don't know if that's just kind of how do you feel about all of that?
Well, so let me see if I can equate it to anything, because this is a pattern, and it's a normal pattern in business that that something new comes onto the market. It's really good, and then somebody else comes out with another version of it, and then another version of it, another version of it, and next thing you know, when they're seeing all these people are having great success, and then everybody and their mother starts getting tools to make the same product, and we have a plethora of them everywhere. And so that is what's happening in the video game market. It's getting saturated, and so it's hard to find quality now because we have so much more quantity. And so I can remember that I guess back, probably about 7 or 8 years ago, I started supporting giving beta codes out to people that were customers, and then later on to viewers and everything. And that was really a big deal to be able to score beta codes for a good game. And now everybody and their mother has beta codes, and so we end up being very selective that we're only giving out beta codes for games that we really enjoy and think that are going to be really good. Just like that, the other caller that was the Citadel of Sorcery. Just from what I saw in the pictures there, it didn't look polished enough. It didn't look interesting enough, and. With the advent of Kickstarter, Kickstarter has allowed a whole bunch of people to pitch their games, and I think that we're approaching a time of having more games than we've ever had before. And it used to be back in '97 when Ultima Online came out, we had only one choice for an MMO. Then in probably 98, we probably had about 5 choices for an MMO. 99, we probably had about 10. And
Were those?
then
Sorry. Were,
then it
were
just
those?
kept going.
Okay.
So, and it's exponential. I mean, now we have over 1,000 MMOs that are out there that anyone can join. And how can you get quality out of that? You just got to find the really good ones.
I guess so. You end up wasting a lot of money on like all of the different games, and you can't actually just find one that you actually want to play.
Well,
well.
that is okay. So there is that side effect, and so and that's both negative, but it's also positive because there's so many now that have gone to the free to play model or a freemium model, and so there are so many games that you get to try before you buy, and it allows you to see whether or not it has that spark. So a good example is like World of Tanks. You can play that one without spending a dime, and you can try it before you can buy it. All these betas that are out there. Runes of Magic is another one that I can think of. There's just, in fact, most of the games coming out now, I'm surprised when they have it to where it's going to be a box on the shelf and that you have to pay a monthly subscription. I think that model is just about dead.
Pretty much like WoW almost.
Yeah, well, WoW has still got a foothold, and it can keep doing it the way it's been doing.
Yeah.
But another WoW game coming out right now would have a hard time with that. And the latest one to try that was Terra. Terra came out, where you had to buy the game. So did Rift. Terra came out, both of these came out to where you had to buy the game and then you pay monthly. And I think Terra's gone free to play now, and Rift is some hybrid model. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, do you think people will be more willing to, well, less willing rather, to pay for a game? For example, if you have like a 15-month subscription to WoW and then you're playing all the free-to-play games on the side while, for example, like you stop raiding or whatever, and then you play League of Legends during the off time, and then you come back to WoW and you still have to pay. Do you think people are going to not want to pay as much and then like leave WoW almost? Or do you think it'll just stay?
WoW has its own draw, and it's hard to say with WoW because here's the deal: is that WoW is a special game, and it can't be compared to other games because it has greatness, and there's only a few games that really have achieved greatness, and you can't compare those against each other unless it's another game that has also had greatness.
Okay.
They're like on a whole different playing field. It's like it's like comparing a Ferrari to a Chevy.
Okay.
And even a high-end Chevy race car still is no Ferrari.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Frank, for the call. Take care.
You too. Cheers.
Okay. So. Now's your chance to give me a call. It's Skype Markee Dragon. And, oh, look at that. Somebody else calling already. Cool. Hello, Mr. Garfield with a trademark.
Yes. Hello, Markee.
Are you actually a cat?
No, I'm not a cat. It's just a nickname.
Just a nickname. Okay.
Yes.
So, Mr. Garfield, where are you calling from?
From Latvia.
Oh, from Latvia. Okay.
Yes.
I think I probably slaughtered saying that.
Yeah. So my question was, in World of Tanks, they will try to bring in the gold ammo for silver in 8.1. Do you think it will disrupt the gameplay?
Well, first let me ask you: did you see my commentary piece on this and our caller from another live show on this?
No, I didn't.
No? Okay. So, it's something that we've already covered in depth, and I think that it is possible that it'll be a good thing for the game because it removes one of those other hurdles of being a pay-to-win argument against it.
But in contrary, it would be pay to win because you would be basically you would be forced to buy a premium tank and a premium account to keep up the gold ammo in your tank.
I disagree. And I mean, they're not selling it for gold. They're going to be selling it for credits. Correct?
Yes.
Yes. And so it's just that previously it was only sold for gold. And gold you could only get by paying cash to the company to get that. But now that it's in credits, what that allows for is that you won't use it all the time. If you used it every single match for every single shot you fired, then yes, you would probably have to be buying currency to keep up with that. But what this will allow people to do is allow them to choose which specific matches they want to use it in. And like, so here's a for instance. Let's say that I'm the last tank, and there's two other tanks that I need to take out in order to win, and it's imperative that I kill them rather than just capping or whatnot. Then, so I need to do everything in my power at that point. I'm realizing at that point it's all up to me to win the match. And so I'm going to do everything in my power. I'm going to switch to my premium ammo at that time because I know that I need to make my very last few shots count absolutely as much as possible. But for the rest of the match, I would never consider using ammo that's that expensive. And it's because the stakes aren't as high. And so in that instance, it allows me, even if I wasn't paying a dime for it, even if I was just earning those credits through normal play without spending any money and converting gold into credits, it would allow me to then, at my choosing, to use some of that premium ammo. So.
But like for the players which at the moment have many like 3 to 4 tier 10 tanks with a premium account and a premium tank, there was like a questionnaire, how much spare gold you have at this moment, and most people with 10,000 battles plus answered that they have at least 10 to 20 million spare silver. So that basically means that players who have a lot of extra cash will be punishing the players who are not paying for the premium or to buy the premium tanks.
Now, don't you think that the people who have over 1,000 battles and stuff who've earned their way up, don't you think they've earned the right to have all of that those credits?
Yeah, it's true.
And do you think that it is absolutely required that they have to pay something? They have to pay real world cash to attain that level?
Probably not.
So, okay.
Yeah, that's kind of short answer, but yeah, it's true.
Yeah. So
the second suggestion would be like to keep the premium ammo just for the clan wars, where the competition is really high, and just remove it from the normal games.
But it is available in the normal game right now, is it not?
It is, yes.
Mm-hmm. And so I don't think they need to change that mechanic. I really think that this change really makes it so that it removes this whole pay-to-win mentality, which is their biggest hurdle, I believe. That is the biggest complaint about games that are free, where you pay for content, is that people complain that they're pay-to-win. And to all those people out there, I say, get a life. I mean, you need to have money going into the game company in order to develop the game and to support it. And however that may be, and if there's other people who are willing to pay money for items in the game, for whatever reason, whether it gives them an advantage in the game or whether or not it just makes them look better in the game, which a lot of the stuff is cosmetic, that you should be thanking them for doing so, because they're the ones that are paying for your play. So, anyway, Garfield, thank you for the call.
Okay,
and,
thanks.
Take care.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, so, yeah, that was interesting. I really do feel strongly about the whole pay to win thing that there's a lot of people who don't like it, but I believe that it is actually a necessary part in some of these games, especially when you are, you're playing for free. I mean, seriously, quit your bitching, honestly. Hello, let's see, is it Venusar?
Yes.
How are you doing today?
Good. And yourself?
I'm doing well. Do you happen to have video, or are you just audio only?
I do not. I am audio only.
Okay. So, where are you calling from?
Calling from Gulfport, Mississippi.
Well, now, I just moved away from there.
I know.
So, yeah, how is it today in Gulfport?
It's pretty great. It's pretty chilly outside, actually.
Yeah, with Hurricane Sandy, it is definitely changed the weather. It's only 72 degrees here as well, and I'm further south than you are now.
Huh.
So, what is your question?
My question is, what is your favorite online game of all time, excluding Ultima Online?
Holy bastard! My favorite game of all time, excluding Ultima Online. Okay, so I'm gonna have to think about that for just a moment. But the very first thing that comes to my mind is World of Tanks, and I'm currently playing that one. But I wonder if I'm saying that just because I'm enjoying playing it right now. I'm trying to think of what I spent a lot of time. What I spent a lot of time playing. Maybe what I had the most hours into, other than Ultima Online. I did spend a lot of hours in World of Warcraft, and I really enjoyed it. I'm not sure that I would put it at the top of my list of all-time favorite games, though. And so if I think of what I have had the fondest memories of, and that might be The Legend of Zelda on the Nintendo Entertainment System, and that goes way back. So. And I really liked that because the game was innocent, and it was a good RPG. It was the first RPG I really played, and so I have really fond memories of that. As far as everything else that has come out, nothing is compared to Ultima Online for me, and I don't think that anything ever will. And so, actually, I should revise your question. What is your second most favorite game, Markee?
Thank you very much.
Yeah. So I think I have to say Legend of Zelda, and right. That goes way back. So, okay. Well, thank you for the question.
All right. Thank you.
Take care. Okay. Well, that definitely. I see you guys. I see you guys in the chat room saying it's clear that it's EVE Online. Well, I can tell you that I've played only a little bit of EVE, and while I really like EVE Online, I decided that I didn't want to devote my life to it, and it was that type of game that to get really, really good in it, that it was going to be a disruption to my work. And so that is why I have not spent as much time in EVE Online as I have wanted to. So, hello Wes, you're on the air. You want to show a video? Okay.
Hey, this is
got video.
From World of Tanks.
Say again?
This is Shadow from World of Tanks.
Oh, hey, how's it going? Hey, do you happen to have a headset? I'm getting echo.
Oh, I might. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, it's just getting a little bit of echo there, and that happens when you don't have a great connection on bandwidth.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Shadow, what's on your mind?
Well, I was thinking of you're going into World of Tanks and that Rush game, and I was thinking, what else are you thinking about doing? I know that there's a MechWarrior Online. They're still in development right now, but they're doing that stuff, and that's going to be like a free-to-play game with. I know they have a market on there.
Mm-hmm.
So what would you think about other games to support for you?
Well, now, when you say support, it's like for doing my gameplay videos and such?
Yeah, that and possibly your business too.
Business? Well, so with the video stuff, it is most definitely games that I want to play and that I'm enjoying playing. With our store, it's ones that we know that we can support well. Like we support EVE Online, but I don't play it a whole bunch. And I'm trying to think of, I know that like War Z, I would like to be selling that. I've actually been getting requests for us to sell the account codes for that. But so far we don't have any deals in place to do anything like that, even though we would like to. And it as far as what else is on the horizon, I don't know of any other games that there's so many games coming out, just like the earlier caller said, there's so many games coming out right now that it's hard to pick and choose. And for two reasons, for business reasons and for my video stuff too. Of course, I want to be as successful as possible, and success in our store is by having more customers that are happy, and success on my channel is having more viewers that are happy. And so if I wanted to play a game that people just really weren't interested in, then I might not broadcast that one. I might just play it on my own. So I don't have anything clearly in mind. I'm very focused right now on War Z. And then I do have another game that I'm preparing for, and it is Castle Story.
Oh yeah,
by Serapod Studios, and that one I'm waiting for their beta client. Right now they have a prototype client that's available to people, and I've decided that I just didn't want to support it at that point. It's probably even more buggy than War Z is right now.
Oh yeah,
so,
I bet.
Yeah. So, do you have any games that you are looking forward to?
Well, I have a bunch of friends that do like the Call of Duty stuff and the new Black Ops 2 that's coming out like in a week.
Mm-hmm.
Probably be getting that for like the Xbox or whatever. But but otherwise, there's not really much that really grabbed my interest, at least from now till December, basically.
Right. So, okay, well, Shadow, it's great playing with you on World of Tanks. I enjoy that. And I suspect that we're going to have some other great battles in the future.
Oh, most definitely.
Thanks for being a part of my videos.
Yeah, no problem. You have a good day.
Okay, take care. Okay, well, that was fun. I didn't expect a call from him. So, anyway, let's see. It's interesting when you put voice with a face or names with faces and everything. It's not always what you expect. So, okay. Hello, Max. You're on the air. Oh, and Max hung up. If people are going to get camera shy, okay, he's trying again here. Let's give it another shot. Hello, Max. How are you?
Good. Sorry about that.
That's okay. So, Max, where are you calling from?
San Francisco, California.
San Francisco. What's the weather like there today?
It's actually not that bad. but I have a question about Diablo 3.
Okay.
Are you still playing it? And I know a lot of people aren't playing it. So, what do you think that they could do differently to, have more people get back into it? Because I know it's a good game. It just needs some work.
I think that it was not original enough from Diablo 2. And so it rode on the coattails of Diablo 2, which was a very great game. But it was just more of the same with an updated engine. It didn't provide anything new. And let me give you an example of what could have been done, which is did you ever play any of the Warcraft RTS games?
I played Warcraft 3 back in the day, like 2005.
Yeah, so I played all three of the Warcraft games, and it was a great game. For all three of those that I played, and then they came out with another one too, which really didn't resonate with me. But then when they used all that legend and lore for World of Warcraft, they had an instant hit because they took all of that content and they made it into something new and fantastical. And what they did with Diablo 3, it was just a remake of Diablo 2 is really how I feel about it. And with the I think that their attempt to do the cash shop or to allow player-to-player transactions for real-world cash was really great. Somebody needed to do that on a large scale. But I also think that is the biggest problem with the game. And that being a problem because because there's so many people that are trading so many items and everything that you can advance in gear so quickly that it just kind of destroys the what would you call it? It destroys the exploration of the game.
Yeah, it really does.
So that is my opinion. I don't know if there's anything that they can do to win people back and everything. And I have to admit, I only played just a couple of hours, and even though I know a lot about the game and everything, I actually only played a couple of hours, and that was because I got bored right off the bat because it just reminded me of Diablo 2, and I had already done that. So anyway, thanks for the call, Max.
Well, thanks a lot.
Okay, take care.
You too.
Okay, so I really had really high hopes for Diablo 2, and it just did not meet my expectations on multiple parts. Parts of being it was too much like Diablo 2, and then it really did get wrecked by everybody and their mother trying to get there at the beginning and make money off of it. I think that was the downfall of the game. I hate to say it because that's the market I'm in, and I love that kind of stuff, but I think that was the downfall of the game. Hello, Ronan. This is Markee Dragon. You're on the air.
Hi, Marcus. Can you hear me, first of all?
I can hear you. Do you have video or are you just audio?
I do have video, but I'd prefer to just keep it audio.
Okay, that's fine. So, Ronan, where are you from?
I'm from Scotland.
Okay.
Actually.
Cool. Cool. So, what's on your mind, Ronan?
Well, for the main part of my life, I have always been playing video games, and I'm a great video game fan. Not as much like PC gaming as console gaming, but I'm still a great fan. And I just wanted to ask, how did you get started with video games, and start your business, and how did you go on from everything?
Well, my start in video games was really just like any other kid. Getting a video game and wanting to play more. When I was a kid, The first video game that came out, we have these games that were they were electronic games. They weren't video games. They were electronic games. It'd be like a little football game, and you'd hold on to it. And you had little buttons, and the lights would move on it and light up these little characters as they kind of go across the playfield and stuff like that. Very very simple by today's standards. Or many of you may have seen a Simon, the 4 buttons, and you have to repeat it. So Simon was out when I was a kid, and that was our electronic games. The first video game that I had was Pong, and it was I had a version that came from Radio Shack, and they had a big controller that was it was huge, and it was all contained within the controller, and you had to put batteries in it to play it, and then you had to have a cord that went to the second player and a cord that went to the TV. And that was my first taste of video games, and I played that a bunch, but it really didn't capture my attention. When we got our first, I got like a ColecoVision Atom, and that's when gaming really started being something for me. But as far as getting into games and how I ended up where I'm at right now, back in Ultima Online when I was first playing that, the first couple of months, I had people that started playing the game and they just didn't like the game for whatever reason, and they would offer to sell their account, and real cheap, $20, $50, whatever they paid for the game, something like that. And I had bought a couple of accounts from a few people, really hadn't thought too much about it, and then I saw somebody selling a sword for $20, and he was asking $20, and I saw that he sold it. And I said, well, hell, I can do that. I've got a dozen of that particular sword. So I put some stuff up for sale, and I sold it, and a year later, I was doing $30,000 in sales per month of virtual goods from Ultima Online, and just kind of went from there. The markets have changed over time. You can't just get in and sell items like that anymore. It just doesn't happen that way. There's a lot of gold farmers out there, and they're doing things against the terms of service. Stuff back then, there was no terms of service that had anything to do with whether or not stuff could be sold, and so there was nothing against that. We weren't breaking any rules. We weren't getting our accounts banned. It was the wild, wild west because we got ripped off a lot. But that's kind of where it all started, and then I have, tried to look for the next new niche in gaming and stay in that. And there's a couple of areas of that I'm focusing on right now, and one, of course, is video. So I've had this channel since 2007. Been posting videos since 2007. I didn't get into doing any gaming stuff though until I think about 2009, and the other thing that I have done for quite a long time is selling game codes, and I believe that there's a market for that when there's good customer service. Alexandra on our Facebook fan page, if you look up Markee Dragon game codes on Facebook, you'll see our fan page, and Alexandra is my business partner, and she posted that she tried to buy Amnesia, the game Amnesia, from GameStop because they had it on special for $5, and that that her payment didn't go through, and so she tried to contact customer support and couldn't get through to them. So she attempted 2 more times to pay, and they kept refunding her. And even though she's a legit person and everything, and she does a lot of anti-fraud with our company and stuff, and so she knows what kind of stuff is being looked for with anti-fraud and everything. She can't figure out why her payment's being denied. So she posted on there about this and how customer service never even took her call and wouldn't speak to her about it.
Yeah.
They just kept refunding her money. And so there's a place for that. One of the things I focus on is really good service. And anybody who buys from us sees that, that we care for our customers and we try to give as best service as possible. So, what is your interest in that? What lies behind your question?
Well, like since I'm a big fan of video games, like I've always wanted to do something with video games. Although I've never really been sure, like what I would like to do. And so when I first discovered your channel, I think it was early last year. I was quite interested in the whole kind of selling game codes and how how you could make a business out of that, and that just kind of really intrigued me. And in the future, it sounds like something that I would be up for doing and hope and trying to hopefully make a career out of it. And if that did fail, then maybe try going onto some different aspect of gaming and making money out of games.
Well, so here's how you can test doing game code sales. It's all about getting people to your website, and so if you have some way to get traffic in, you can start out with like an affiliate program, and whether it be ours or someone else's. And that's where you get people to your site and you refer them for the sales, and then you get a commission off of each sale. You don't have to buy a bunch of product beforehand, and so you can test whether or not you can get people coming in that are willing to buy. If you can't get anybody coming in willing to buy, then you need to find something else to do. And the draw there has to be more than just having a website. The website has to have something at it that has some sort of quality content that people want to come back for.
Yeah.
And every webmaster struggles with that, on finding what is it that is renewable content that people can come back for over and over and over again. Part of what I do is all these videos is that the content is new, and that's why I publish 2 videos a day, because that's how I keep people coming back. And I always publish 2 videos a day, if not sometimes 3. And so whatever you choose to do, a couple of things. Can I ask how old you are?
At the moment, I'm 15. I'm going to be 16 in a couple of months, though. But,
Okay. So you can start a business at any age. Right now, though, your primary focus needs to be school, because you need that education to be successful later. And you'll find that, I can tell you that a lot of my mistakes that I've made in business was because I didn't have as much education as what I probably should have. And if I had just done a few more years of school, I would have a lot more to back up my decisions, and I wouldn't have had to learn a lot of stuff the hard way. Some of the stuff that I've learned the hard way has cost me, thousands of dollars, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars. And so, I would be, if I had had that education behind me and made wiser decisions on my journey to where I am today, I'd be a very rich man. But I've had to pay for that education the hard way. So I encourage you to get education, and to and if your passion is video games and you want to do business in it, then focus on the video game industry and business in your studies. And I don't know what opportunities, like where you live and stuff like that, but if you can get a job working at your local computer store selling games or something like that, and if you want to sell games in the future, that will be invaluable experience for you, because you'll be able to interact with each one of the customers that come in. You'll be able to ask them what they need and want, and figure out what it is, why they're coming into that shop, what that shop is providing that they need and want. And when you see success, this is probably my biggest piece of advice. When you see success, learn how to replicate it. And because it's not theft, stealing someone else's idea and making it better. I wouldn't call it stealing at all. It's just like, let's say that you see somebody who has a fantastic car, and you are a car manufacturer, and you say, wow, that new style of rims on there really makes the car perform better or look better. And so you go back to your shop and you develop these new type of rims that may look similar, but they have that functionality in them and the desirability. And so, you're not stealing that from them, you're making it your own. And you get the idea from other places. You don't have to be the sole creator of all of the ideas. You can take all of these things around you and put them together into something that works for you. So, and dabble in business right now, and then when you're done with your studies, give it 100%. Hopefully, you can be at a point to where you can live very, very cheaply, and so that you don't have to earn very much, and you can give it 100% in trying to be an entrepreneur in the video game industry.
Okay.
So, does that answer your question?
Yes, it does.
Maybe more so.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Take care, Ronan, and good luck to you.
All right. Thank you, Markee.
Yeah.
Bye.
Okay. Well, that's cool. I always like to see young entrepreneurs and try and steer them in whatever direction that would be beneficial to them. So, okay. So, Skype is Markee Dragon, and feel free to try giving me a call. I prefer calls on camera as opposed to just voice. Anyway, so let's see here. We've got another call coming in from Romania. Hello, Amber Dark. How are you?
Hello. I'm fine. Thanks.
Yeah. So it said on Skype that you're in Romania. Is that true?
Yes, it is. And actually, you do know me.
I do.
Yeah, we did a little business back in the day with some wall gold, if you recall.
Oh, okay.
I was, 14 at the time.
Mm-hmm. So you were a gold farmer back then?
Something like that, more or less. I was curious, what did you think about selling stuff in-game in these times, nowadays?
Nowadays? Like as opposed to the old days?
Yeah, in the old days you could easily sell basically everything off, but nowadays it seems quite a little hard, and I've gotten a little interested about this recently. I don't know, I just want to earn a little something on the side, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I think that
it's not working as it was anymore.
I think that the glory days of selling intangible goods in video games is over. I think that anyone getting into that industry right now has a huge uphill battle, and for two reasons. One is that the market is absolutely saturated, and the other reason is that the game publishers are directly combating it, and they work very hard to combat it, and it is. They've been very effective with that. Diablo 2 decided not to fight it, that they embraced it. Or Diablo 3, I mean.
3, yeah.
And with...
it's not working. I tried Diablo 3, and I'm basically making, $50 a week out of it. It's a joke.
Well, yeah, so, if you want to make... Okay, so the only advice that I'd have for you is that it has to be legit. Is that you can't do it in a way that violates the terms of service. And in Diablo 3, the heyday is definitely over for that. There were a lot of people that were making thousands of dollars a week. I could probably cite at least 10 people I've talked to that made, $20,000-$30,000 in the first month of the game. But they're not making that kind of money anymore. They're like making, maybe 150 a week now or so, and so it's a dead market, and they are not they're not pursuing it so much anymore, and there's not as many buyers either. I can't think of, there are some other games that have been on the market that have had legit sales, and there's like Second Life, and there's Entropia, and both of those, there are people who make a living in the game, but they're older games, and it's a very saturated market. The only key to making a lot of money in a game these days is to be right at launch and have stuff for the big desire that happens right at launch. I can't think of any games that are coming up where they're going to support that directly. You'd have to be you'd have to be violating the terms of service for the game. I am working with one game publisher that is going to be doing player-to-player transactions, we're going to help facilitate that to make sure that the transactions are safe and everything. But it's going to have to be done with a lot of study and everything on how Diablo 3 was both successful and how I think that was our biggest failure with it as well, because all the farmers came in at once trying to sell everything, and the competition was just outrageous, and the hyperinflation just exploded. So.
Also, I wanted to ask you, is there any way to compete with farmers in general? I mean, I'm just one guy, I can't play non-stop, and I'm not botting or anything, so it's quite impossible for me to compete for the same prices and the same gold amounts anymore. It was quite easy to sell stuff in the past, but nowadays I'm just sitting there.
Right. So here's the deal. So in the United States, we have a cost of living, and there's a lot of people who in the United States do not engage in this kind of stuff. I don't know, is the American dollar worth a lot in Romania?
Not really.
Not really? In China, it's the American dollar goes a long ways, and because it goes so far, they can hire really cheap labor, and because of all that cheap labor, they can then offer prices that you can't compete with, and whether you're doing it legit or not. And so that is most definitely an issue of I don't know. I think that you have to think now that this era is over. And so if you want to stay in the video game industry, you have to think of where is next, what is next. And that's takes a lot of vision and a lot of luck.
Yeah, and what do you believe it's next?
Well, I am not 100% sure. I think that there are, one thing that I'm trying right now is I'm trying a video guide for War Z. And it'll be something where there'll be a main War Z survival video, and there'll be a whole bunch of links on the video, a whole bunch of annotations. And you'll choose that one to go to another category like weapons or something like that. And then it'll show all the different weapons on there. You'll click on the one, and that video will show you in the game how to use the weapon, and what it's used for, what its power is, and if it can be used for defense and stuff like that. And that if I were selling the game, it would help drive sales of the game, but it also is ad revenue. because there's advertisements that pop up on all of my videos. But as far as obtaining success in that area, there's very few people that are making like over 100,000 a year doing gameplay videos on YouTube. I've heard of some other people trying as personal trainer type thing, getting paid like $20 an hour to work with somebody and teach them how to play a game better. That violates one of my principal rules of business, which is whatever you're producing must be automated and replicable. You must be able to replicate it. If you're doing personal training, it requires, you can't get that hour back, or you can't replicate it over and over again, unless maybe you filmed the whole thing and then you put up the video, and you can actually charge people for videos on YouTube. You can actually rent videos. I've never tried that, but I know it's possible. And then you could off your $20 you made doing that one guy for an hour, you could then for $1 another person can watch it or whatever. So, and maybe you'll get 500 people that'll watch it, so you make $520 for a couple hours work. But that's all theory and everything. I have not tested that. I don't know that to be true. It's just some ideas, some potential that I see in the market. So the biggest way to find out what's needed and wanted is to go into the forums for the games and see what people are complaining about that they need, that you can provide.
Yeah, but usually game developers will just copy it. As you said it in, I don't know, said it in the last one of the last 3 videos. You said that everything we make, a video developer will just copy it. So what's the point of making it?
Well, you're thinking that they'll copy every single thing, and they won't. And so this is where it comes into looking at a niche. And so so let's just say that I'm looking at stuff, and there's I don't know, 100,000 people that are looking for whatever, and I think I can create that. Well, I may create that and take a chance that it's too small of an issue for the game developer to worry about, but it's big enough in order to provide some volume of people coming through wanting it that I can make some money at it. So it happened to me several times with EA. We instituted things, we developed things, we created things that were really great for the players, and then they turned around and did it. The whole thing of how some games allow you to use currency in the game to buy game time, and like EVE Online does that, and there's other games that allow you to do that, and we pioneered that. We started that back in Ultima Online. There was nobody that was doing anything like that, and we were doing bumper sales of game codes for, we'd sell like a 30-day game code for like $1 million gold, and a 90-day code for 2.5 million. And that $1 million gold, so that 30-day game code cost like $12.50, I think it was, and then we would turn around. So we would, I would buy the code, and then I would sell it to somebody in game for $1 million gold, and then that $1 million gold was worth about $25 to $30. And so I paid $12.50. I spent 15 minutes of my time, and then I posted on auction up on eBay that $1 million gold, and it would sell for about $30, and I would double my money every time through. Well, that would be that was something that they weren't doing, and they didn't do that exact one, but other video game publishers saw that and picked up on it and replicated that. So it's okay to make something and be good at it and do it and have other people copy you, because by being there first, you have the biggest foothold in the market. And as long as you have really good customer service and everything, you'll have people come back to you over and over and over again, even if they have other options. And they'll do it because they like you.
Yeah.
And so that is maybe one way to look at it. Is that we used to sell Runes of Magic game codes long time ago at another company I was at, and we fought after that contract because there was so many people complaining about the customer service that they were getting in the game. And so we knew that if we could sell the exact same product and we could offer a lot better customer service, that we could offload some of their customer service cost, but at the same time we could capture those customers because we were able to get stuff resolved so much quicker than anyone else, and than the actual game company. And in fact, we do that with EVE Online right now. Typically, when someone has an issue, we're able to get it resolved probably 3 times quicker than doing a petition for an issue. And that's part of why people buy from us, because when they do have a problem, they want a real person to help them. And so, maybe think of it that way. Think of how you can maybe do the same thing, but you can add value to it that would cause people to want to use you, even though you're offering the exact same thing at the exact same price, or maybe even more. We've sold product at above retail before. So if you can figure out what to bundle with it that makes it more valuable.
They think you're secure, right?
What's that?
They do that because they're valuing safety with you.
Well, that's part of it. They know that we're really anal about our payments coming in and people's safety, and we call people all the time, and we'll call them and say, hey, did you make this payment? And they'll be like, what payment? So people are very grateful for us taking those extra steps. But, I guess that, can you tell me one game company that you think of that has an awesome reputation for customer service?
Oh, none.
Yeah, none. I think the one that's closest to any of them is Blizzard. Blizzard probably has the highest.
My God, no.
Well, in my opinion, I think they do. But,
small game developers have better customer service than large ones, because they have fewer players, and especially if the game is new, they will keep their customer service top notch.
So they need you in their game for them to earn their living. Whereas the bigger companies, they don't give a crap about you. You are just a number. You're not a person. So if you can take that customer service of saying, okay, I'm going to treat you like a person, a human, somebody I care about, as opposed to somebody who you're just a number. Oh, you don't have enough dollars to spend? Get the hell out of here. Then you may be able to build a clientele or marketplace. So I can't tell you what it's going to be doing, though. So you have to just try things, and if you think you can get any traction, then try running with it. So, okay.
See you around.
Yep. Thank you very much for the call. Take care.
You too.
Okay. So. Okay. Well, that was interesting. So. Going way back, he probably was back when I was actually doing stuff that violated the terms of service. Okay, so next one here. Got another call. We got a little bit more time. And he hung up. I was kind of suspecting that, honestly. So, okay, well, we're going to try this other one here. Hello, Mr. Black. You're on the air.
Hey, Markee. How you doing?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I'm doing very well. Sorry I don't have my camera on right now. I'm not in a good spot to use it.
Okay. Well, you know, sitting in front of your camera naked, you know, we wouldn't want to see that either. So,
Okay.
where are you calling from?
Ohio.
Ohio. Okay. And what's on your mind?
I just wanted to throw out some facts. I was listening to some of the questions that you guys were getting, and or you, not necessarily you guys, but I just want to throw out some stuff that I just thought was interesting. A lot of people are complaining about, for instance, the botters in like World of Warcraft, Diablo, and whatnot. I was like, the reason I'm a big Eve fanboy, major Eve fanboy.
Right.
And it's a big thing for me that I always, you know, what's the word? Promote the game. I like the part about Eve, and I think a lot of do this where you are, like in Eve, you're allowed to kill anyone, even in high security space, provided you have enough firepower.
Right.
And I actually was in an alliance. I was in Gentleman's Agreement. Oh, hang on. It's doing something weird.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. And I was in Gentleman's Agreement license, and we always got botters in our space. So what we did was we just kind of formed up little fleets, and we just went after these bots. We actually were able to kill them, grab whatever loot they had, and bolt. And it was it was beneficial to us, not only just to stop the out of game trading. And I think more and more MMOs should do this because, one, it helps save time for the developers because of this. They don't have to spend so much time working on, there are a bunch of RMT reports, so we need to, sort through this, get to work, guys. It actually helps them.
So is your argument that maybe the game developers, instead of banning bots, they should give the player base more tools so that the player base can take care of the problem themselves?
Yes and no. I don't believe they should stop banning RMT traders. It's important that they go away because, for instance, I had a friend named Sanji, and he kept buying stuff in EVE Online, and we kept on like, why are you wasting all these high-tech equipment on ganks? Like, he was using Tech 2 equipment to gank Kratos and Jita for like no payout at all. And he's like, oh, don't worry about it. Turns out he was real money trading. And CCP, in their infinite mercy, did not ban his account. They simply set him negative 20 billion.
Right.
And
which I think is a fantastic way of dealing with it, to penalize the buyers, but not by banning their account, but by making them work their way out of it.
Yeah, I thought it was really interesting. He ended up deleting the account anyway, starting over.
Well, and that's his choice at that point. But obviously, it was his choice to buy the stuff as well, in violation of the terms.
This is true. This is true. And another note I wanted to, while I'm on the note of trading, back in, I believe it was March, Eve had a special where you could trade Eve timecodes for NVIDIA GeForce GTX 560 processors for the cost of 20 plex.
Yeah.
And well, I like what you were talking about, trading in-game cash for out-of-in-game, or out-of-in-game, the non-in-game products.
Right. Intangible goods buying tangible stuff.
Yes. And I think, according to I don't actually have the page up on me, I'm trying to find it, but from what I remember, the actual report was that they had like 100 or something of them, and they were sold out in seconds. And that it was a very good response to it, and so they're thinking of doing it again. And I wanted to know what your opinion was of other companies, and what do you think that they should do this?
Well, I think the economics of that really work out. There is some other examples of that in the industry, And so it works out really well if you have a way to monetize what's coming in. And so CCP says, okay, we're going to take the Plex, and the Plex has a value. It has a value of about $35 for 2 Plex. And so if you give us 20 of them, is that what it was? It was 20 of them?
Yes, 20 Plex for one.
Wow. Do the math on that. So 20 Plex, so that's $350. So if I were to buy the game codes from either from CCP or like a store like mine, Markee Dragon, game codes, go look them up. There's a link in the description. If I were to take those game codes and let's just say I went and bought them for the $350, and then I go and take them in game and I turn them in for one of these video cards. Effectively, what I've done is I've paid $350. I happen to know that video card did not cost $350. I just bought a GTX 570, and I paid under $300. So I suspect that the card was worth somewhere between $200 and $300. So CCP actually, if they go out and buy them themselves at, let's say, $300, and that they're taking in $350 worth of Plex that they then don't redeem in game and everything, they're then making an extra $50 on each one of those they sell. And so it's a very creative way of allowing players to get something in a different way. And here's why it works. It would be double dipping if they didn't have the ability for players to buy Plex with in-game ISK. And so what that did is it allowed those people who have a lot of cash in the game, which is ISK, to buy those Plex and then turn that into a tangible item that they could get shipped to them, that video card. And but if they didn't have that method in there, then it would be a bad deal. And I would expect that most everybody that took advantage of that deal were people who did not pay the cash price for the actual Plex.
I would assume that's true, yes.
Mm-hmm. I would be surprised if they did. I do know statistics on stuff like that is that there is 10% of the people that just don't care. They just see something and they buy something on impulse regardless of the value. And so there will be people who paid $350 for one of those cards cash out of their pocket.
I have a friend who's experienced with that. League of Legends recently, like a couple months ago, released the Pulsefire Ezreal skin, and that skin actually was, most skins cost around $10 worth of money,
mm-hmm.
and that skin cost, I believe, $30, and it was a decent skin, but recently they've been giving out, or not giving out, but they've been providing better quality skins than Pulsefire Ezreal for, considerably less.
Mm-hmm.
And my friend actually refunded that purchase because it was just not worth it.
Mm-hmm. Well, that is something too. Is that whatever you're selling has to match the perceived value. The customer needs to always feel that they at least got a fair exchange for their money, if not feeling like they got more for their money than what they were expecting. So that is a requirement. Otherwise, you have people asking for refunds, and that's true with anything. Even if you go buy a loaf of bread, half the loaf is bad. You take it back to the store and you say, "Hey, I want a full loaf," So
yeah. All right,
okay.
That was pretty much everything I had to ask, so thanks.
Okay, well, thank you very much. Thank you for your call.
Thank you.
Take care. Okay, so I think we have time for one or two more calls. Skype is Markee Dragon, and I'll be happy to talk to you. We actually have a 2-hour limit on how long these could go with a live broadcast with with YouTube, and so I do not want to go beyond that, because what happens if we go beyond that, I don't know. But I don't want it to be that this gets deleted, because this will remain up on the channel, other than our other test that we did before, which didn't. So, hello. Let's see here. I don't know that I'm going to actually show this. So I have someone here who is, well, yeah, okay, goodbye. Okay, so that is not what I expect on calls in, and you will be hung up on if that's what it is, what you're planning on doing. Also, do not call me with a group call. I want to speak to only one person at a time. And so group calls are not getting answered, if you guys haven't noticed. Okay, so, well, unless we get a call here in just the next minute or so, I think we are going to call it good. And I think that this has worked out pretty good. I would like to see your feedback if you've watched it all the way to the end as to whether or not you enjoyed this broadcast. You can type it in the comments right now. I'm going to read all of them after the broadcast. And I would appreciate feedback on how I can make it better and everything. Okay, it looks like we have one last person calling in. And let's see what we can do with this. Hello, Grimpy, you're on the air.
Hey man, how's it going?
Pretty good. How are you today?
Yeah, not bad. Sorry I haven't got any video. I haven't got a webcam.
That's okay. Where are you calling from?
The UK, south of England.
And, I timed this specifically so that it would come on during prime time in the UK.
Oh, that's pretty good of you.
Just for you. I knew you were going to call.
Oh, cheers, man. Nice to know you're thinking of me.
So, what's on your mind today?
Well, it's something I've been thinking of quite a bit recently, and it's kind of how MMOs are changing. And by that I mean free-to-play microtransactions versus subscriptions. What is your take on that?
Well, I think this is a natural progression. I'm trying to remember. The free-to-play model came out of the Asian markets, and because they started actually, that you'd buy the game, you'd pay a subscription, and they were selling goods in the game, and they realized that you could actually make a lot of money by offering the game for free and getting more people in there, and then allowing people to buy the stuff, that they would actually make $44 per paying player as opposed to 10 or 15. And so it was definitely a business decision to not to make those changes. Well, the tests that other game publishers have done have shown that it's a really good model to do, and because it does pay more monthly than a subscription based. And
Yeah.
it also allows people to control more of their experience in the game, because they're paying for exactly the content that they want, as opposed to everybody just gets the same thing because everybody's paying a subscription.
Yeah, sorry, can I interrupt you there? But this is what I feel, is that I prefer personally, I know it's different for a lot of people and I might be in the minority here, but I prefer paying a subscription because I know I get 100% of the content of the game just through that payment monthly, rather than having to kind of organise. I know it doesn't take a lot of organisation, when you want extra bag slots or anything like that, but my issue is I've been totally happy with paying subscriptions for like Dark Age of Camelot, WoW, UO a long time ago. But that's always worked for me, and it frustrates me how, because of the majority feeling that free to play is more beneficial for them or maybe works out cheaper, it's kind of frustrating how all MMOs are adopting that kind of business strategy rather than the old way that's always worked. That's just me, though.
Mm-hmm. Well, I can tell you this, that if, I suppose, how many hours a week do you play games?
Well, MMOs not so much now since I've grown up a bit, but well, I'm 24 now, so I'll say in my prime time of playing MMOs, when I was about 16 to about 20, I was playing them roughly about 6 to 7 hours a day, and that for me would warrant I use like the UK currency, £9 a month for me was totally fine. Like getting that amount of hours out of the game in a month was like a massively good price to me, because you taking an Xbox retail like new game as just an example, you pay about £40, so I don't know, is that about $60-70? I'm not sure about the right, but yeah, for me that was a lot of gaming for my money.
And now that you have other responsibilities in life and everything, how much gaming do you think you do a week now?
Well, I still game a lot. It's not so much MMOs, but I've recently stopped playing WoW again, purely because I got bored of the game, but I could still see myself feeling fine with paying at £9 a month, even if I wasn't playing it that much, because to me, I know it's different for other people, but to me, £9 a month is really not that much. And
Well,
at least I know... Sorry.
I'm trying to get it. How many hours a week are you playing?
Let's say about 25 hours.
Okay, so you're in the hardcore category. 20 hours a week and up is hardcore.
Okay.
And so I just think here, you're talking about paying subscriptions and stuff. If you're going to dedicate all of your playtime to one game for an entire month, then you can get really good value out of that subscription. But if you're playing 5 or 6 different games that are MMOs, would you play even 3 MMOs simultaneously at the same time where you had to pay monthly?
No way. I think my ethic when it comes to MMOs is probably one game at a time. I mean, I play other games, like I play first-person shooters while I'm playing an MMO, and I'll switch between them whatever I feel like playing at the time. But it's just me really thinking. I think that you're not the norm, and what I mean by that is that if I had so much entertainment dollars per month, I probably would go with a subscription base so I could get absolutely as much. The more I played, the more I felt I got out of it, because I got more value per hour, per dollar, or pound. And with the attention span of our teenage generation right now, and even your generation is right at the beginning of it, to where it's an instant gratification type of stance on things, and it's different because a lot of people these days jump around from thing to thing to thing, and so with it being free to play, you can try a lot of different things until you hit on one that you like, and you may stay there for a little while, but I think a lot of people still dabble in other games at the same time. I think that the subscription model is going to go away. And that's what I'm worried about, man. I know it's going to happen, and it's just it's how things go, and it's changed. But you can still make really good use of your money. I mean, okay, so Runes of Magic, World of Tanks, some of these other games that I've some of these other games that are the free to play model. They have like premium that you can buy in the game, which equals a subscription. And it's where you're getting, sorry, that was a murloc in my pocket. You just heard. Where you're getting
a timed, bonus of extra experience or extra currency, extra credits on every kill and stuff like that. And that is, that's another way of looking at a subscription. And I think that even with free-to-play games, you can be really tight with your money and make really good decisions, and it doesn't have to cost you more. Just because the average is that somebody spends $44 in a game that's free to play as opposed to $15 for subscription, it doesn't mean that just because you're playing a free to play that you are going to spend $44.
Yeah.
It's just an average, and I'll tell you that having sold these games and the in-game currency or the codes, the legitimate codes that equal things like in-game currency or premium time or everything, that there are a whole bunch of players that'll buy just like one code a month, and it typically is around the same amount that that someone is paying for a monthly subscription fee. And then there are the other ones who buy enormous amounts, hundreds of dollars worth a month. And, those people, I look at them and I go, they must have a lot of entertainment dollars or something. So, you can still make good decisions. And I think just because if every subscription model went away and you were forced to go free to play, I think you could still spend right around the same amount of money and get just as good a value. So
yeah, I think essentially it's me being lazy and not wanting to think about it at all. I just want to pay this subscription and just not think about it for a whole month.
But
I understand.
Let me bring up another point though, which is that I've had subscriptions where they were like billed to my credit card monthly or whatnot. I didn't use a game code to fund them. And then even after I quit playing, they kept billing me because I never turned it off. And so that is another thing with the whole free-to-play model. You're buying something, you get it right then, and it's not a reoccurring charge on you that you can forget about and realize 3 months later, oh crap, I just wasted $45.
3 months, yeah. I've done that with WoW for like 1 or 2 months, but thankfully I noticed. But I like the idea. I think Star Wars, the Old Republic are doing it, where like you said, you can either kind of pay microtransactions. I don't know if they've started that yet, but you can pay microtransactions or just pay a monthly subscription. And I hope like most companies just choose to adopt that way of things rather than all just switching to the free to play, because I'm sure there are still quite a lot of people like me. I don't think I am in the minority, but I think subscription based is a good way. It's just a shame how like you said, the instant gratification and the switching around, the impatient teenagers of our generation, if you're listening.
Yeah. So it's just how society evolves, and so the business evolves around them.
Yep.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for your call. I appreciate it.
Cheers.
And cheers to you in the UK.
Cool. Have a good one.
Okay. So I think that is the end of the show. Thank you for joining me. The very last thing on the exit out, for those of you who want to try War Z, I have guest codes that are going to show. Get your pens and papers so you can write them down. They'll be active on the 31st. They will allow you 2 days within the game, and so you can try it out for free. There's several codes in there, but not enough for everyone. I really didn't have very many of them. And so that is what you get. Anyway, thank you. We will do this again. I like how this format is working. And and eventually we'll have some sporadic shows, but also we'll have some pre-scheduled shows. And for the pre-scheduled shows, you'll be able to see them on the homepage of the Markee Dragon channel. And it'll actually give you an option there to add it to your calendar once we've scheduled them, so that you can be alerted to know to be here live. Otherwise, you get to see it in a repeat, which as soon as this ends, it'll take a few minutes and YouTube will have a 720p version available. And one last thought, a lot of you, I'm seeing your responses about the quality of this, and I can tell you that it's because I'm not using a webcam. I'm using a professional microphone, professional camera, and a lot of other pro equipment to produce this. And so any of you who were filming for YouTube, if you had that kind of equipment, you could probably produce the same quality. It doesn't have anything to do necessarily with my channel having any special advantage. So, okay, thank you for joining us, and take care.